Let's do it. Oh, I thought you were doing high five. Hi! We have a great news.
Yeah, we are moving places.
No, no. Video over, cut. Ugam and me have decided to part ways.
No.
With this house! With this house, not us. Not us. So, we had a very, very hard decision to make in starting of this year or at the end of last year.
No, it was beginning of last year.
Beginning of last year.
Yeah, we were thinking about this beginning of last year.
Okay.
And to make that decision took us about 6-7 months. And then we finally decided.
That we want to go ahead with this thing.
Yes.
And this was literally the hardest decision of our life together, I think. And took us forever in the discussion. So let's address the elephant in the room. I have my notes with me. So as you all know that we have been living in this house literally since day one that I've stepped in Berlin, which was 6 years back.
6 years.
And this house is Altbau, the old house, and it's fully furnished, which is the best part of this house, that we got it fully furnished. But it's also not the best part because it has really old furniture and it's not the vibe that I want specifically.
And also we kind of outgrew this place. I came in here when I was not married. Then we got married. Then she moved in. Then we had a kid. And now it's just we need more space, and we kind of feel we have outgrown this place.
Yeah, totally. Because we also want to now start training Sid with his sleep training, potty training, all the trainings that are ahead of us. So, yes, we have totally outgrown this place. Plus, I am also personally done with this place now. So, as you know already, that Berlin renting situation is crazy. Like, we started looking for houses in Berlin, and we want to stay in center, right? We want to stay near to all the good things, and we went out there. We started looking for the places for renting, and nothing, just like 2 BHK, 2 bedroom and 1 hall, was costing us around 2,000 approximate,
A little bit more.
or a little bit more, exactly. And after having several discussions, we just couldn't get ourselves to the place where we were comfortable in investing 1,800, 2,000, 2,500, whatever euros each month for rent. It sounds crazy to me. I don't know how people are doing this. Apparently people are doing this. I don't know how.
I think you're skipping a few steps. I think our situation was we had a bit of savings. We lived in Berlin for about 6.5, 7 years now, and we had a bit of savings. We were looking for ways where we can invest that money. Second was this house situation. We were looking to move. Rental situation in Berlin was not great. It's still not great. And then housing prices in Berlin have been going up. So Berlin looks like, for a European capital, still a little bit underpriced. If you look at still the real estate rate in Hamburg, Munich, they're higher compared to Berlin. Even say Cologne or Dusseldorf, it's much higher than Berlin. So Berlin, I still think for a European capital, for a capital of third biggest economy in the world, is still a little underpriced. So given all these factors, we decided, okay, we should probably invest into Berlin. Not invest to just buy an apartment and put it on rent, but to actually live. That's the main intention. But also, it can be a good investment for us in the future.
Exactly.
But yeah, we should also clarify, buying is not for everyone. It depends on what your situation is. For a lot of people, renting makes sense. Given what we just talked about with family growing, place being a little bit outdated, it made sense for us to buy a new place, and that's why we took a lot of time. We discussed a lot. We talked to financial advisors. We talked to our family, and then we decided to invest in Berlin.
So we are now officially house owners.
Apartment owners.
Apartment owners. Always killing the buzz. But yes, we are officially apartment owners in Berlin, and just the best thing ever, and super hard because, okay, now let's talk about a little bit of how we found the house, not like the process, but what was our criteria of finding the house, because we were very specific on the things we wanted. So basically, we both come from the family background that lives in individual houses like bungalows, and this mindset I had in mind. So initially when we started looking, I was like, we will invest in a bungalow so that we get it from the land. And when we started like visiting the houses, it was crazy to see that how far they are, far off from the city center. And plus, so it felt so remote, like there were no restaurants, no cafes, the connectivity was so poor. And we looked at 3 houses, I think 3 or 4, and I think by the end of fourth house I was clear, like, okay, this is not for us, this is not what we want. So we started our search whole again, to find the apartment in the city center. And we had a whole process. I think this is a separate discussion of how we went through the loan process, finding the agency. That's not what we are going to cover in this process, but just how we found the apartment, like what was our criteria. So his main criteria was city center, near to schools and kitas, restaurants. As you know, we go to restaurants and cafes a lot. So this was also one of our things. For me, the main criteria was that we should have a garden and a water body nearby, like a lake or something water nearby, so that it's just, I love water, and I would love to have a garden. So we were looking for apartments not just on first floor, second floor, whatever, because they come with balcony, and I wanted a garden. So we were very clear on our individual criterias, and then we started looking for houses. And you want to add something? So what was the process? We got the clearance from the bank, we found the real estate agency, we started visiting the house.
No, the process was a little bit before. Before, you need to talk to we talked to a financial advisor. We told them how much do we earn, how much savings do we have, do we have any existing loans. They'll ask you a lot of questions. Then they will tell you, and also it depends on what type of visa do you have. Do you have a permanent residence? You have a blue card? Generally, I think most German banks consider you if you have a permanent residence. So based on that, then they'll tell you you can take this much loan based on what both of you are earning. So we talked to financial advisors. Then we went through this hunting process, looking for houses, looking for apartments. Finally, we zeroed in that we want to buy something apartment, not a house, because of the criteria she talked about. Then it took us about 4 or 5 months more, furthermore, just to go to viewings. We went to, there's a portal, Neubau, something, we'll put the link. There we were searching, and what we realized is that in Berlin is split into rings, A, B, C. We realized in A, it was a little over our budget. So we decided to stay just outside of the Ringbahn, which is the A zone. When we got something just outside of the Ringbahn, the rate dropped around 30-40%.
Yeah.
So the place that we have is very close to the A circle. I can bike to my work in 20 minutes. There are a lot of good schools there. There are a lot of kitas there. There are gyms nearby, but it's not in center. So we're not paying center prices, but we are staying very close to the center. So that was the thing. That was the main criteria for us, being not paying exorbitant prices, but staying close to the center.
Plus, one of the criteria was it also has to be a Neubau, like a new construction.
Yeah.
We didn't wanted old construction. So even when you invest in new construction, whenever a new construction project goes on the market in Berlin, especially what we saw, it went out really, really quickly. right?
Yeah, it goes away very quickly. When there are multiple stages, when the project is financed, generally half of the apartments go away quickly
Yeah,
because a lot of people are looking to invest, and then when they start building, furthermore goes away. When there's a significant process, almost all of it goes away. So it's almost impossible to find a Neubau which you can buy right now and move in right away. So
exactly.
you have to wait. So you have to buy, put in a little bit of money, and then this waiting period, construction begins. So in our case, we bought this place mid of last year, and this is December 2024. So we bought in August or September 2023.
Yeah.
So it took us about 1.5 year waiting period to get this place.
I can't tell you how much I waited for this 1.5 years, but yeah, we are at the end. We are in the last week, just 4 more days, and we are now moving out of this house to our own home, the place we will call home. But yes, we waited for 1.5 years because this house had everything that we really wanted. Like, we did not compromise on anything whatsoever. It's a 3 bedroom apartment, 2 baths, very near to city center. There is a water body, there is garden, there is sunlight, because this is also one of the things that we saw when we visited other apartments. The new construction is that they were surrounded by lots of buildings, and if you're looking for ground floor, there is a huge possibility that you will never get sunlight, right? And we got so lucky with this house that you will get sunlight. I think in front it's a reflection, it's not direct, but in our backyard we get it directly
In the morning.
in the morning. So it's just perfect. And even from the astrology point of view, although we don't believe it, but it just fits in. It's perfect. And even when we were looking at the houses, there was this one construction I remember. It was good, but we didn't feel it. I don't know if you remember. It was in the backside of Moore Park somewhere.
I think I remember that place. So we liked the apartment. It was it fit into our budget. It was slightly bigger than the place that we bought, but the neighborhood was just not good. Neighborhood was also another criteria for us. It was
Yeah.
in Wedding. If you know Wedding, it's a
Yeah.
it was close to some shady areas. We were not comfortable when we were just walking around. So yeah, neighborhood is also a big criteria for us. We bought in Weissensee, which is calmer. Not much really happens. But yeah, this is good. It's safe. It's safe to raise kids. Like I said, there are schools. So yeah, that was a big criteria for us.
Exactly. Yes. And now we are just 4 days away to moving to our own place. As I mentioned in the starting of this video, this apartment is fully furnished. We really don't own a lot of furniture and house stuff. Nothing in kitchen as well. Maybe 1 or 2 pans. Just our clothes, Cindy's toys, books. The maximum stuff that we own is my clothes, my handbags, my shoes, and that's literally it. So yes, we are in the last leg, and when we saw this house, this was an instant yes for both of us. I don't remember having a discussion that the negatives. I don't remember having discussion around the negatives of the house, because
I
we
think
didn't
discussed
see.
for a bit. I think we discussed for a bit because it's a big investment. It's a lot of money.
No, I mean, we didn't discuss that this house have this negativity, or I mean this negative point. I don't think we discussed anything of
We
that sort.
discussed some things. For example, the garden is accessible through bedroom, not through living room.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's something that'll be no go for a lot of people, but for us it was fine.
Yeah,
So that's one thing. So on ground floor, a lot of people don't want apartments on ground floor. We were fine on being on ground floor because we wanted a garden where our son can play. We can host barbecues in the summer, invite people over.
yeah.
But yeah, there was a bit of discussion. There was not.
I
really-
remember having discussion. Now that you've said it, I remember having discussion about the balcony. The garden being attached to the bedrooms and not the living room. But then we found a way, because if we host a party, for example, which we will do, because when City was not around, like he was not born, we used to do a lot of parties at our place. And when he was born, it's just a lot of things came into the apartment, which are his, and then we were like short of space, so we never hosted any party, or maybe one or two. But yes, I our one of the entrance of the house is from the backyard also. So if we do like big parties, people can just enter from the behind. It has two entrance. So I think it's not a deal breaker. We had some discussions and we were totally fine. Otherwise, the vibe of this place, like when we sit there, when we work from there, because nowadays our furniture is being delivered to that house, and I go there 4 times a week and he goes once or twice. We discuss, we just sit there, we work in the empty apartment, and it just feels so good, so refreshing. It's just filled with positivity, and it's a great feeling.
It just feels like the place where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's the feeling you want to have in the apartment that you're buying, the apartment or the house that you buy.
Exactly. And in general, the building people feels very warm. There are many expats in the building. We have been,
People send chats on WhatsApp in English. That's something new for me in living in Germany.
yeah,
I think we'll meet a lot of immigrants, people like us who are from different country.
yeah. There's one Indian family. I met two Italian families. There are lots of kids in the building. Like, someone told me the other day that there are boys in the building, 6 to 7 boys of Siddi's same age, and I'm so excited to see how that turns out for us. And yeah, we are looking forward to the fresh start, being the homeowners in Berlin, raising Sid in his own house, home, and just starting. It feels like a new beginning. It just feels like a new beginning.
It is a new beginning.
Yeah. So that's what we have. That's the news.
Will we do a house tour for them?
Yes, we will do an empty house tour. It's not empty, but before we actually furnish everything, that will be the next video. So stay tuned.
See you.
Bye.